I guess it's time. What's goody? What's goody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Wherever you guys may be. Hope you guys are having a good day. I finally got some Captain stuff for you guys. They Call Me Captain Part 3. It's been probably almost a month now since I dropped They Call Me Captain Part 2. And if you guys haven't um, listened to any of the story yet, on the story time it's pretty much They Call Me Captain Part 1. They Call Me Captain Part 2 is pretty much Part 2. I know it's a little refresher in order probably for those who just coming in, who's just recently subscribed, who doesn't haven't watched the videos, or if you guys been watching the videos and forgot because it's been a little while. Pretty much They Call Me Captain is about a master thief. Pretty much steals what he wants. Um, he was treated kind of mistreated when he was younger. Always wanted to be a captain of his team with his friends when he was younger, but was never given a chance to. Always getting picked on and everything. So his life pretty much been kind of whack and upside down and everything for him. So he's been through a lot. And then one day he had a major accident that kind of messed him up. And we kind of fast forward, and he's in a wheelchair and at a TMZ kind of place where he works at with news, trending stuff, all that stuff. And he pretty much lives a boring life, and things are pretty much similar as he once was as a kid. But what people don't know is that he can actually walk, and he gets all dressed up and actually just rob stuff, whatever he wants. He leaves his signature card behind, and people know it's the captain. He's been doing it for the last 5 years. So law enforcement's trying to get him. They haven't been able to get him. Whenever he does something, he's always on the news, trending, and people either applauding or in disgust. But he loves it. Something he does to get away and lives through the captain to get away from his normal, boring life. But recently he struck again and stole a statue. So left his card. So he's on the run again, and the law enforcement is gonna pretty much try to track him down. So that's pretty much where we left off. But recently he's starting to see a little changes. Usually for the last 5 years, people have been really loving the chase and can anybody get him this time. But he's been seeing a little changing with the captain, and people kind of seem like they're getting a little tired of him, or he's not as cool as he once was. So it's kind of blending the two now, his boring life and the captain, and he uses the captain to escape. So it's kind of giving him a little trouble. So that's interesting. This thing that's going on right now. And the last thing that we left off of was us being introduced to Arden Chase. She's an up and coming detective. So you guys gonna see what's happening with her part of the story. So They Call Me Captain Part 3. Again, if you want more in-depth stuff about the characters and story, Story Times Part 1, They Call Me Captains Part 2, but this is Part 3. I hope you guys love it. All right.
Oh, I know that you'll go, my love, I'll think I'm yours. My dreams, like dreams, I hope one day they'll...
Chief's office. Police Chief Greg Bosman, early 60s, laid-back fellow with the world on his shoulders, but takes everything at a steady pace, sits at his desk in front of Detective Kendrick Towns. He's in his mid-50s, well-built man with a hard jawline and tired eyes like he just takes naps throughout the day. Arden walks in a little surprised Detective Towns is in the office, but refocuses on the chief. "Hey, Chief, I got your message." She looks at Towns and gives him a nod, and he returns it. Their relationship's an odd one in that they've only spoken a handful of times in the 3 years she's been there, despite seeing each other almost every day. "Yes, have a seat, Chase," Chief Bosman says. Arden sits by Towns. The chief just smiles at them both. "So what's the deal, Chief?" Detective Towns says. Chief Bosman adjusts himself in the chair comfortably and clears his throat. "Now listen, I'm only going to say this once and clear." Arden perks herself in her chair and glances at Detective Kendrick Towns as he still leaned back in his pose, not moving an inch. "I brought you two in here to discuss the captain fella, or gal, as some have said he could be a she. But whatever the case is, the captain needs to be finally stopped. Detective Towns sits up, anticipating something he's not going to like, and butts in. Chief, this is my gig. I'm very close to figuring it out. Don't go changing things on me just because he struck again. Chief Bosman folds his hands together and leans forward. Don't interrupt me, Towns. As I was saying, and I understand he's been yours, and this is your last assignment for us, but it's been 5 years, so I finally think it's time to change things up a little bit. Arden is feeling a little uneasy, but excited at the same time. Is he passing the assignment to me, she thinks? As you know, Towns, Detective Chase here has been doing great things and has been moving up the ladder, as we say, in her past few assignments. I believe Detective Towns tries to butt in again. But Chief, what did I say about interrupting me? Now listen, you two, I want you two to come up with a plan and get on this case together. A fresh young mind in Chase here, and a seasoned vet like you, Towns, who has plenty of information on the captain can go and do wonders, I believe. This is my final verdict, so go ahead. Detective Towns looks over at Arden, shakes his head, and leaves the room. Arden gets up a little disappointed, but still excited, and thanks Chief Bosman and leaves the room. Chief Bosman leans back in his chair, thinking out loud, this better work. Arden walks to her desk. She can see Detective Towns walking down the hallway. He grabs a quick cup of coffee, then looks to be heading out the building. She takes a seat and pulls out a notepad and goes on her laptop. Detective Singamore, he's 45, gray-bearded individual with a unique style of clothing for a detective, and a stylish cane, walks over to Arden. So what did the chief want with you and Towns? And keep it straight with me, he says. Arden leans back in her chair with a smile on her face. Chief just added me to the Captain Chase down. Detective Singamore takes a step back with his cane, leans back with his head, and starts nodding approval, then points his cane towards Arden. I bet Towns was pissed. He's been on that case since the beginning. Wonder why Chief wants to change it up now. Arden just turns back to her computer screen and starts typing away quickly and starts writing things on her notepad. You know Towns got all that information already, probably embedded in his brain. So do what you can do here, but make sure you work with him and pick his brain. The man's a loner and a stiff, but he knows his stuff. Arden stops writing and turns her chair around to face Detective Singamore. I don't know what I did to the guy. He just keeps walking, barely says anything when I'm around him. Detective Singamore just takes a seat and chuckles. Yeah, Towns is always like that. He says what he wants to who he wants, and he just sees the light at the end of the tunnel, that's all. And the captain's his final battle, so he's been more of a stiff and cold these past years. Arden leans back in her chair and shrugs her shoulders and sighs. Well, I'm not taking a back seat to him. If he wants to help me, he can. If not, he better get out my way. I want the captain too. Detective Singamore leans close to Arden. Then help him out and do it together. That's your best bet. The captain waits for no one, and he just stays hidden until recently, so this might be your best bet. Arden rolls her eyes. Detective Singamore leans a little closer to Arden this time. What are you doing tomorrow night? My place? Arden laughs and slides her chair back in place in front of her laptop. Get out of here, Singamore. I got work to do. Detective Singamore gets up chuckling. One day someone will break that ice barrel you got and you won't know what hit you. Arden keeps typing and writing. She starts chuckling. Not anytime soon, Singamore, not from you. Detective Singamore makes his stylish pose and starts walking away. I make this look good, Chase. Watch out. Arden laughs and continues on with her work.
So that was They Call Me Captain Part 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Trying to keep it a little short so you guys don't have to listen for 30-40 minutes, and I'm trying to be more consistent going forward so you guys don't have to wait 3-4 weeks. So hopefully I'll get the story done in quick, in short order. I'll see how it goes. I'm definitely gonna continue doing my pop stuff. I'm happy I'm dropping more story stuff. It's popping stories, so I gotta put the stories in that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and leave me anything in the comments of how you guys enjoying the story so far, where you think it's gonna go. Much appreciation for watching. It's Mike Funny. It's popping stories. Wherever you guys may be, have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Peace.